Bobcat fans, we're here, the opening drive with Josh Strickland, head coach of Hallsville, Guy Walker, myself, sponsored by Roof Masters and your local Hallsville Sonic. Josh, last week, there were so many emotions in the game, man. For yourself being your first game back home, the close game with the kids, can you recap a little of those emotions?
Well, honestly, I'm glad that first game was on the road. I was telling my wife, I was like, with me coming back home, I hadn't been back in 20-something years, I was like, I have a pretty good feeling I'm going to get pretty emotional during the game. I thought the national anthem was going to get me. However, it was when I talked to the guys in the locker room before we ran out there. And that was a pretty special moment. And so I got all the emotions out of the way when I was in there. So once I hit the field, I was ready to roll. So, but throughout the game, I mean, we had a great start to the game. You always want to score on your opening drive. We did that. It's always a goal offensively. First drive of the first half, first offensive drive of the second half. We accomplished that. Then we had a few setbacks. And, I told the guys, a lot of people after the game, I mean, the atmosphere in that stadium was awesome. The amount of purple we saw, the support from the cheerleaders, the band, the drill team, just the whole community as a whole was awesome. It was emotional for me. We came up 1 point short, and everybody has these positive things. And as a coach, you kind of know there's really no moral victories in this whole deal. So, bottom line is we got beat by a point, but I also think that we were down by 13. Our guys could have folded, but they didn't. They battled back. Could have easily got beat by 24. Yeah. I really think that. And sideline stayed positive. Coaches were positive. Players were picking each other up. We battled back, and we had a chance to win it. And as a coach, I think we should have.
Two observations, and I'm going to actually let you elaborate on. Something me and Guy talked about up in the booth last Friday was we saw something that we haven't seen in a while, and it was a fight from a Hallsville football team to allow themselves to get back in that game. Now, ultimately, like you said, we don't ever want to lose. But they kept fighting.
Yeah, they did.
Throughout that whole game. And the other observation, I'm going to let you kind of talk about both of them, is when we were up in the pregame and you talked about emotions, we saw people walking across pastures wearing purple, parking half a mile away.
Yeah.
There was no room in those bleachers over at Henderson, Texas. And, man, I just want you to talk a little bit about both of those things, man. Yeah. How did, being that first game back as a head coach, I don't even know if you saw it, Coach, but how did that make you feel, man?
I had lots of coaches who told me, and Coach Farrell, our athletic director, being one, make sure you take some of this stuff in because you only have one first game. And so there's a couple times, I looked up there and I was, even in pregame, I was just soaking everything in. Made sure I was down there before the guys ran out. I wanted to see all that. But the community atmosphere and this being the community that I'm from, man, there was nothing like it. And I challenge everybody to do the same thing this week at home. I think the guys fed off of that. The energy that was in that stadium was awesome, and that helps. That helps a lot. That helps. That helps our football team. So it was unbelievable.
Well, here's the fun part of it, Coach, is this week we're coming home.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's our first home game, home opener, your first time to be a head coach in the stadium that you played in. Now, it's changed a little bit since you played there. Yeah. The wood bleachers are gone that you would fall through and had to run on the sides when you were running bleachers. But tell me a little bit about the Kilgore, your expectations on this first home game. And I'm going to tell you, Kilgore, back when we were growing up, that was one of our rivalries.
Yeah, it really was.
I did not like seeing red whatsoever. What can the fans at home expect coming tonight's game?
They can expect that it's going to be, for lack of better terms, a dogfight. It really is. They're an athletic group. I think right now in 4A Division I, they're ranked 6 in one poll and 8 in another. They are athletic. But at the same time, the preparation that we've had this week in practice has been really, really well. Our guys have responded in a positive way. So I expect to see us, in a fight tonight for 4 quarters. That's what it's going to have to take on our end for us to be there at the end and have a chance to win the game, which I feel that we do.
First game, Henderson and Guy, jump in with me on this. What were some positives, negatives that you think are going to take over to this Kilgore game?
Well, the first thing you look at, whenever you get to that first game is in practice you understand it's hard to, produce the speed that you're going to see live on game nights. It just is.
Yeah.
And the fact that we've now seen that, and we've seen an athletic group, just like we're going to see this Friday, the things that are the toughest that first game are your tackling, your special teams. All those things are kind of hard during the week to go full speed at, and to get those live reps. And so the speed of the game you're going to see on Friday night. You're going to see better special teams, for sure. You're going to see better tackling. And we've made a few personnel changes, made a few changes schematically too. So you're going to see lots of improvements in those areas that we struggled in the most.
Well, I was going to ask. The play calling Friday night against Henderson was awesome. We mixed the run with the pass. The pass was there all night long. The young man did a great job.
Yeah.
JC did a great. And your running back, he just flat run his tail off.
Yeah.
The offensive line did a great job. I was really proud of all of those guys.
Yeah.
Do you see much changes where we're going to change it, more running, heavier run this week, or we're going to have to go more passing?
With the offense that we run, we try to take advantage of what they give us defensively. There's lots of times that we have things built in, and we just try to take what they give us. So it's hard for me to go in a game with a hit chart saying this guy's going to do this or this guy's going to do that. We just try to take what they give us, and that's kind of how we're built.
Right.
So, looking back on it, when I got the stats after the game and we had Elijah average 17.1 yards a carry, I was like, well, I probably should have given the ball more. But that's just kind of how it played out.
Hey, Coach Guy, thank y'all for joining us here on the opening drive. Tonight, dogfight, like you said, against Kilgore. I want to send a shout-out to Roof Masters and our local Hostel Sonic for sponsoring this. Thank you, guys. We'll see you after the break.
Yep, thank y'all.